Conference USA, UAB and Western Kentucky, another Friday night game taking place. Western Kentucky, 2.5-point home favorites, 57.5 being the total here in this game between these two teams. UAB is clearly showing a few more signs of vulnerability without Bill Clark, of course, who's no longer the head coach. And to be quite honest with you, the UAB defense isn't what it's been in years past. We think of this team a very good defense for many, many years. I don't want to say the defense has been horrible, but they definitely haven't been nearly as good. They're all their numbers across the board have gone down a little bit defensively. So can Western Kentucky, the good news for UAB is the secondary's held up rather well, but at the same time, they have not faced the kind of passing attack, in my opinion, that they're going to see here from Western Kentucky and Austin Reed, who's been pretty good. I mean, maybe not quite what Bailey Zappi was, but he's been more than good enough leading this air raid offense, this pass-heavy, fast-paced Western Kentucky offense. 35-17 win against Middle Tennessee last weekend. They got off to a bit of a slow start, and then once that offense gets rolling, it's pretty difficult to stop. Snapping a 2-game losing streak. They had lost back-to-back games against Troy and Texas San Antonio. So it was good to see them bounce back. UAB still has a pretty good offense. It's actually their offense this year that's probably a little bit better than their defense with Dylan Hopkins, who's been a veteran quarterback for a very long time here. Solid numbers, 66% completion, 6 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. Rely on Dwayne McBride, an outstanding running back who's been 137 rushing yards against that bad Charlotte defense. And then 2 pretty solid receivers led, of course, by TJ Jones, Trey Shropshire. So UAB's got some weapons, good offense. Like I say, I don't know if their defense is as good as it's been in years past. I like the over a little bit here because, again, I think with UAB, we think of them as the defensive team. And when they played these faster-paced, very explosive offenses, we've seen them play some overs this year, like the Rice game, like Middle Tennessee. And I think this game could end up going over the total. I got to be honest, I lean to Western Kentucky here at home a little bit. UAB on the road this year, 10.5-point favorites at Rice. They lost outright, and 6-point favorites at Liberty. They lost outright. So on the road away from Birmingham, it's not been pretty for UAB, and this is one of the better teams they've faced. So I think at less than a field goal, I've got to look at the Western Kentucky side here, laying 2.5. What do you think here, Connor?
Yeah, UAB, though, in the past, usually they're laying points. Now they're catching a couple, but I don't know if it's enough. And in years past, they're very good on the road in games like this. But I don't think this is the same UAB team. We talked about on Saturday, the points, that was crazy with Charlotte. And Charlotte got out.
That was a really bad Charlotte team hanging around for a long time against UAB.
For that whole first half. Yeah, that was, and then they broke away, but we still got the cover easy in that one because I thought Reynolds could sling it on them a little bit. But they still dominated, especially in the second half, the yards and everything else. I'm kind of impressed by Western Kentucky here at home. Just the offense is efficient. Let's talk about the total. I think the number kind of right there. They haven't, it just seems like a 31-27 type game. I don't know, 30-24. But maybe it does get over. Who knows? Yeah. UAB, you talked about the offense has been a little bit better, and they've been a little bit slipping the last couple of years on defense. So I kind of like Western Kentucky with the short number. I don't know if I bet this one, but that's just my lean here right now.